Let me tell you about the profound power of silence. When you find yourself drawn to someone or something, it's natural to want to fill the space, to speak up, to make yourself known. But there is a subtle and beautiful power in holding back, in allowing the silence to speak for itself. Silence isn't empty, it's full of intention, mystery, and strength. When you sit with that silence, you're sending a message of self-assuredness that says, I know who I am, and I don't need to prove it to anyone. Silence becomes a way of drawing others in without saying a single word, allowing them to discover the depth of who you are on their own. There's something magnetic about silence. It's a space where true connections happen, where curiosity is ignited, where minds and hearts tune in. When you don't rush to fill the gaps, you allow for the kind of connection that's real and meaningful. Let me tell you something about confidence that many people don't realize. Confidence is not about speaking up at every moment, filling every pause, or trying to prove anything to anyone. True confidence is knowing who you are so deeply, so powerfully, that you're not afraid of silence. Silence becomes your ally, not your enemy. When you sit comfortably in silence, it shows the world that you trust yourself, that you're not here to seek approval or validation. You're not afraid of what others think, because deep down, you know that your worth doesn't come from their opinions. It's rooted in something unshakable, something that no one can take away. Think about it when you walk into a room and don't rush to fill the space with words. People notice. They feel your presence. They're drawn to that calm assurance. There's a sense of mystery, a sense of strength. Others wonder, what is it about this person that's so powerful, so self-assured, and the answer is in that silence. Because when you don't need to speak just to be noticed, it's clear that you've already noticed yourself, and that is rare. Being comfortable with silence is a signal. It says, I am here, fully present, and I don't need to prove a thing. That level of ease, of self-acceptance, shows you're not searching for others to fill you up or complete you. You're already whole. And that wholeness, that quiet confidence, is magnetic. It's the kind of strength that doesn't need to be shouted or shown, it simply is. So, when you find yourself in a moment of silence, remember this, that space is a reflection of your own confidence. Let it speak for you. Let it show the world that you know exactly who you are, that you have nothing to prove, and that you are already enough. Silence has a way of pulling people in, of creating a sense of mystery that words often can't convey. When you choose not to fill every moment with chatter, you allow others to wonder, to lean in, to become genuinely intrigued by what lies beneath the surface. In a world that's so noisy, where everyone's trying to be heard, silence stands out. Think about it when you hold back, when you listen more than you speak, you give people something to think about, something to wonder about. They start to ask, what is this person thinking? What's going on beneath that calm exterior? In that silence, they feel the pull, the invitation to discover more. When you don't give everything away right away, you leave space for curiosity to bloom. You're no longer just part of the noise, you're something rare, something different. People become drawn to that. They start to notice the subtleties, the quiet strength, the mystery that surrounds you. And that curiosity, it creates a spark, an energy that makes people want to connect with you in a more meaningful way, to understand the layers that you're not immediately revealing. This doesn't mean you're hiding anything, it means you're letting your presence speak. You're allowing others the chance to meet you where you are, to take that extra step toward you. When you hold space with silence, you're showing that you trust people to see the real you, to look beyond the surface. So remember, when you let silence do some of the talking, you're creating a doorway for curiosity to walk right through. You're inviting others to come closer, to take the journey to truly know you. And that kind of connection? It's deeper, it's richer, and it's built on a foundation of genuine interest. Silence, in its own quiet way, can be one of the most powerful ways to be seen. Silence is one of the most profound gifts we can offer to another person. When you give someone silence, you're giving them the space to be themselves, to show you who they really are without feeling rushed or overshadowed. In a conversation, when we hold back, when we listen, we invite others to step forward. We say to them, "I am here for you, take your time," and in that space, people feel safe to reveal their true selves. Think about how often people feel the need to put on masks, to perform, to be who they think they're supposed to be. But when you're silent, truly silent, and listening, you're offering them a rare opportunity to be genuine. You're not filling the space with your own words, your own ideas, or your own assumptions. Instead, you're creating a sanctuary where they can let down their guard, where they feel seen and heard in a way that's real. There's a beautiful transformation that happens when you give someone that space. They start to trust, to relax, to open up. You're giving them permission to share parts of themselves that might otherwise stay hidden. They may share a story, a dream, or a piece of their heart that they wouldn't reveal if they felt rushed or overshadowed. In silence, you're allowing them to express themselves fully, to feel that they matter, that what they have to say is worth hearing. They begin to see you as someone who values them not just for what they can give, but for who they are. And the beauty of that is, in those moments of silence, the connection between you grows deeper and more genuine. When we offer silence, we're not just holding back our words, we're making room for something far more meaningful. We're giving someone else the stage, inviting them to share, to reveal, to connect. And in that gentle act, we're allowing a bond of trust and understanding to form that's built not on words, but on presence. That's the power of silence. It lets others feel seen, and in return, it allows us to truly see them. Silence is one of the most powerful ways to steer a conversation without uttering a single word. When you're in a conversation and you choose to be silent, you're not just waiting for your turn to speak, you're shaping the space, the rhythm, the very essence of the exchange. Silence gives you control because it allows you to observe, to listen deeply, and to respond with intention rather than reaction. Imagine this: when you hold back, when you don't rush to fill every moment with words, you're giving the conversation a direction, even if you're not speaking. People often feel the need to fill silence, to explain, to keep talking. In that quiet pause, they might share things they hadn't planned to, reveal thoughts that go deeper than they intended, or express feelings they didn't expect to share. Your silence becomes an invitation for them to open up, and in doing so, you guide the conversation without force, without pressure. Silence gives you the upper hand in the most natural, graceful way. When you listen more than you speak, you're able to pick up on what's really going on beneath the surface. You hear the unsaid words, the pauses, the hesitations. You notice the shifts in tone and the layers of meaning that most people miss because they're too busy planning their next sentence. In that listening, you're holding a quiet power that can't be faked or forced. When you do speak after a moment of silence, it carries weight. People lean in. They pay attention because they know you're not speaking just to fill space, you're speaking because you have something valuable to add. Your words become more intentional, more purposeful, and others naturally respond to that. Silence allows you to guide the conversation in the direction you want, not by controlling others, but by setting a tone that encourages them to meet you on a deeper level. In a world where everyone wants to be heard, silence gives you a different kind of voice. It's a voice that's calm, confident, and commanding without needing to overpower. You're not trying to steer with force, but with a gentle presence that lets others feel seen and heard, even as you hold the reins. That's the power of silence. It allows you to lead, not by taking over, but by being fully present and intentional. Silence lets you shape conversations with grace, inviting others to follow your lead without them even realizing it. Silence is a testament to the respect you hold for yourself. When you choose silence over words, it shows that you don't need to prove your worth to anyone because you already know it deep down. Silence says, "I am enough, exactly as I am, without explanation, without validation." That quiet assurance is rooted in self-respect, in knowing that your presence alone is powerful, that you don't need to fill the air just to be seen. When you respect yourself, you're mindful of your energy, your time, and your words. You don't rush to give away pieces of yourself to everyone or everything. You know that not every moment requires your input, and not every conversation deserves your participation. Your silence shows that your discerning it reflects a deep understanding that not every interaction is worthy of your voice. Choosing silence is a form of self-protection, a boundary that honors your inner peace. It says, I don't need to be part of every conversation, and I don't need to be involved in every discussion. That restraint speaks volumes about your commitment to valuing yourself and only engaging when it feels right, when it aligns with who you are. Silence is also about patience, about trusting that your truth, your wisdom, and your presence don't need to be hurried. When you're silent, you're saying to the world, I respect myself enough to wait until I'm ready, to speak when it feels meaningful. That quiet waiting is powerful. It's an act of self-respect that not only uplifts you but also commands respect from others. There's a grace in silence, a quiet dignity that speaks louder than any words could. When you choose to hold back, when you choose to be silent, you're embracing the fullness of who you are without the need to project it outward. And in that moment, you're honoring yourself completely. Silence becomes a sacred space, a reflection of the love, care, and respect you have for yourself. Silence is where intuition finds its voice. In a world filled with noise, distraction, and constant demands, our own inner wisdom can often get drowned out. But when you embrace silence, when you allow space for stillness, you create the perfect environment for intuition to rise up, to make itself known. Silence is like a clearing in the middle of a busy forest, where suddenly all the paths become visible, and you can see exactly which one feels right. Our intuition is always speaking to us, gently guiding us toward what we need, toward what aligns with who we truly are. But it's in those quiet moments that we can actually hear it. Silence is the canvas on which intuition paints its message. Without the rush of outside voices, without the weight of other people's opinions, you can finally tune into that inner knowing that has always been there, waiting patiently for you to listen. When you allow yourself moments of silence, you're making room for something profound. You're giving yourself the space to feel what's true for you, what feels right in your heart and soul. You're allowing clarity to emerge, letting go of the mental clutter and the noise that can cloud your judgment. In that silence, you start to notice the gentle nudges, the feelings, the subtle signals that your intuition is sending. Silence strengthens intuition by building trust. When you honor those quiet moments, you're also honoring the wisdom within you, saying, I trust that you know what's best for me. The more you practice silence, the more you begin to rely on your intuition, realizing that it's been there all along, waiting to guide you. And with each decision you make from that place of inner knowing, your intuition becomes stronger, clearer, more vibrant. So remember, silence isn't emptiness, it's the richest space of all. It's where you meet yourself, where you tap into that deep, timeless wisdom that exists beyond logic and beyond reason. In that space, intuition flows effortlessly, and you become more aligned with your true path. Silence then becomes not just the absence of sound, but the presence of profound insight, of guidance, of truth. Silence is unforgettable. When you choose silence over words, especially in moments when speaking would be easier, you create a moment that lingers. People remember silence because it's rare, it's powerful, and it has a way of holding space in people's minds long after the conversation is over. Silence can make the loudest statement of all, not through words, but through presence. Think about it: when someone chooses to be silent, they communicate confidence, respect, and depth without saying a word. That kind of presence leaves an impression that no amount of talking ever could. Silence says, I am here fully, I don't need to fill the space to be felt. It allows others to feel your essence, to take in the weight of what's unspoken. That quiet moment becomes unforgettable because it's pure, it's real, and it's rare. Silence also allows others to see you as a whole person, not just a collection of words or reactions. When you're silent, you're giving them space to connect with the energy you bring into the room, to feel your presence on a deeper level. It's like a pause in a beautiful piece of music, a stillness that holds everything together, that makes the melody resonate even more. When you leave a conversation in silence, people carry that with them. They reflect on what wasn't said, they wonder about the thoughts behind your quiet presence, and they remember the feeling of being with you, not just the words you shared. Silence lingers in the mind, like a gentle echo, a reminder of your depth and authenticity. In silence, you create mystery, curiosity, and respect. You show that you don't need validation from anyone. You're whole and complete in your quiet strength. That impression stays with people because it's a reminder that there's power in not always having the last word, that there's grace in restraint, and that sometimes the most impactful moments are the ones that don't need to be explained. Silence is your mark, it's lasting, it's profound, and it's uniquely yours. Silence is an invitation to connect in ways that words can never fully capture. When you choose to be silent, you're offering space for others to show up, to be seen, to feel truly heard. You're saying, I'm here, fully present, just for you. And that presence is a gift that touches people deeply. In silence, there is a magic that creates intimacy, a quiet space where people feel safe to open up, to share their true selves without fear of interruption or judgment. Think about it. When we hold back our words, we invite others to step into a deeper, more meaningful dialogue. We're no longer caught in the rush to speak, to make our point, or to fill the air. Instead, we're showing patience and genuine interest, letting the other person know, I value what you have to say. That quiet space is where vulnerability blossoms, where real understanding is born. Silence also allows us to connect with what lies beyond the surface. When we're not thinking about our next response, we're able to feel the energy, the emotions, and the nuances that words might miss. In that silent connection, we're not just hearing what the other person is saying, we're feeling who they are. We're connecting with their heart, with their experiences, with their spirit, and they can feel that. They can feel that you're listening not just with your ears, but with your whole self. In moments of silence, we show that we're comfortable with the unknown, with the unspoken. We're saying, I'm here for the real you. Beyond the words, beyond the stories, that depth of connection can be transformative. It builds a trust that says, you don't have to impress me, you don't have to fill the space. I'm here with you as you are, and in that silent acceptance, the connection deepens, and a bond is formed that's not based on words but on presence. Silence can be the beginning of the most profound relationships because it strips away pretense, creating a space of authenticity, of truth. It says, I want to know you, not just what you say. And in that, silence becomes the bridge to connection, a connection that goes beyond the surface, that reaches into the soul. It's a connection that doesn't fade because it was built on something real, something enduring, something that only silence could bring into being. By leaving room for others to connect in a genuine way, you create a space where true bonds can form. So embrace the silence. Let it be your strength, your mystery, your magnetism. When you allow silence to speak for you, you'll find that it attracts what's truly meant to find you.